Well, good morning. Good morning. First of all, good morning to my fabulous co host here. I'm Dr. Faye, and you are about to experience another wonderful, powerful, inspiring, fired up show from the co host of Lighten Up. It's time to talk. With me today, again, are my co hosts, Regina Gobinas, business and life strategist, Layla Khan, life coach, author, Sonia Williams, health and beauty consultant, and I am Dr. Faye, and we're glad you've joined us for another exciting show. Less than an hour, your life can be set from zero to shero, zero to hero, because we're here to give you something, that we've received because we believe you can't give away what you don't possess. I like reading. I'm an avid reader, in fact, and I love reading motivational, inspirational, and life transforming material. And my number one book is the Bible, of course. And in Ecclesiastes 3, it says, "To everything there is a season and a purpose under heaven. There's a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted." In this season, I wonder, which one are you doing? Are you planting? Are you reaping? Are you sowing? Are you reaping? What is it that you're doing every day in every way? We're doing something for business, for life, for our families and our relationships. Our why is the thing that drives us. Our why is the reason we get up every day. And the question has risen: what do we do with this why? How do we discover the why? Do you know your why? And how does it serve to navigate you through life? What happens to your why in difficult circumstances? We're here to open up this conversation and to have a talk with you. Layla, Regina, Sonia, let's talk.
Well, I'm a firm believer, as we've talked before, that we're all born with an original blueprint. We all have a why. Um, Speaking strictly from my life experience, because really that's the only life I've experienced, is finding your why. Obviously, it's our mission,
Mhm.
but we always assume. I believe we assume from my experience and talking to a lot of people that once we find a why, it becomes easy somehow. The truth is, once you find the why, it becomes even more challenging
Mhm.
because it comes with it's now it's a responsibility. It's not just an asset, it's not just a reward knowing your why, but it's actually now a huge responsibility to follow through with it. It's like you're responsible with this fragile thing. And there's obstacles, the opposition, as we know, is alive and well. And I know from my life, the more I work in my purpose, it's like, yes, things are happening and magic is happening, but the other side, it's just like an overload trying to get in the way, because I experienced this in my life as well. So I think being anchored in your why allows us to, at least it allows me to push forward, because it's easy to doubt yourself and your why when things get in the way. It's very easy. We're human beings. We're emotional. We're insecure. We're all of the emotions. We all experience the same things. So being anchored in your why and really knowing what it is.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people go through life never finding it, but knowing it and being anchored in what it is, you get to really experience a life beyond your wildest dreams. I
Yeah.
I see it in my life. The blessings, I feel closer to God because I'm in my purpose
Mhm.
that He's created for my life.
Yeah.
It's uh, it's like a doorway to be closer to Him. I mean, I'm seeing it in my life, and
Mhm.
like the God in the universe and the Holy Spirit that just support you on your mission. When
Yeah.
you're in your original blueprint, when you're walking in your why,
Mhm.
there's this army of support that surrounds you, this
Mhm.
invisible army of support. I'm having chills as I'm saying this because
Yeah.
for
So good.
everybody, the mission should be, you have a blueprint. The mission should be to achieve, to find it, and
Mhm.
then believe that it's yours and don't waver, because opposition will come, and that's okay. That's okay. But if you're in your blueprint that God's designed for you,
Yeah.
and that's your why, God will always support you as well.
Another, I love that, Regina. I absolutely love that because God does support it. And the reason he supports it is because he supports his word. When we are one with his word, when we're one with the calling, we're one with what he's spoken to us because that's his word. He's the one who said, let there be.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we begin to be that which he said, let, we have to give weight to the letting of it. We have to honor that. And honoring that word is honoring our why, because that is where we get the why from. In him we live and move and have our being. Without that, we're lost. We're drifters. We're just going around a mountain, going nowhere, fat like the hamster on the wheel, or like ancient Israel in the wilderness, just going around the mountain when the promise is within reach.
I think also, if I may, just one more thing really quickly, is that we assume that finding the why means it's smooth sailing after. It's actually the opposite. It's for
Yeah.
people, we often step into the why and it becomes challenging, and we're saying, well, maybe that's not the why. Well, but maybe it is. It's not supposed to be really easy, right? We're supposed to push through and work, and
Yeah.
there's a good and a bad, and the opposition and the support on both sides of it. And sometimes, and I'm seeing this, we're talking with a client of mine who said, it feels like everything is falling apart. I said, well, you finally stepped into your purpose. What about a perspective that is finally falling into place?
Yeah.
What about that perspective? So finding your why, it will get complicated, but don't assume that you step into the why, everything becomes easy. It's actually, you're at the foot of the hill, so to speak. And then you just go up, and a step at a time, you'll get there. It's just how it works.
Yeah. And that complicated place, or that place of pain or resistance or friction, it is because we are shifting from our comfort zone. The things that we thought were our identity, the things that we grew up with, and all of the things that made us who we thought we were. And now when we step into this new place, it's a strange land. So even the body resisted, it's time to, whether it's, I was listening to a personal trainer, and he said, I had to push. He weighed 300 pounds, and now he's fit. And he said, I had to push past all the pain.
That's
I
right.
had to push past not wanting to get out of bed. I had to push past, you're jogging and there's Baskin Robbins. And you got to jog.
The opposition, Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, the opposite. Here's that thing calling you, because that's from yesterday, but you're moving on into your future, and your future is much brighter than your today. And you want to move toward that, and you have to resist everything else that wants to pull you back to being what you want, because that's why you paid for that coaching program. You invested in yourself. That's why you listened to that teaching, or you went to that class, or whatever it was, because you wanted a change. And finding your why is really finding your reason for being here on this planet in the first place. Finding the purpose for your next breath. Layla, jump out the boat, girl.
I love what you guys were just sharing there. Honestly, the chills. It's just so beautiful to hear, and to be surrounded with women who get it, who get it. And we've all walked a path to be able to articulate, what our why is and why it's so important to us. We all grow up asking questions, every single one of us, in this world. I do believe we ask questions, and we ask these questions of who am I, and what's my purpose? Like, what am I here to do? And these are really, really important questions to ask. And I do believe it's innate as well. And I do believe that one of the answers is that we are here to serve. We are here to be of service to others and to serve God. And so as a woman of faith, my why is so anchored and so, like, it's just a part of me that I show up each and every single day, no matter what, because I'm walking with God, because I'm creating through my vessel, through my soul, through my spirit, through my body.
Yeah.
I'm creating what God wants me to create for Him, for others. And that this one lesson and insight has just been my guiding light, so maybe our why is our guiding light. I remember I shared a post the other day with the light of inspiration is within you. And I really felt those words, and I was like, that this is what it comes down to. Our why. It's like we're gifted with the why, like we're gifted with the reasons why we're here, isn't it? And what we're here to do. And so our why is a light. And so when we can just sit in that space and just trust it and have faith that, like, I'm here to serve God, I'm here to be of service to others. And so the way to manifest that why is through trust and through faith and through play and through creativity and just allowing whatever needs to come through. So for me, being a woman of faith is definitely my why is so anchored with God. And then I think about, the other things as to why else I get up every day to do what I do. And I think about my mum, and she's such a core why for me. I wonder if no matter how old we get, if we always will seek, maybe it's approval, maybe it's validation, maybe it's just love from our parents, from our mums, from our dads, maybe it is that, maybe that is what it is for me. I think actually what it is as well is I want my mum to know that I'm okay. That I've done good, and so it's that thing of just getting up each and every single day to be able to provide for her. Like, she's good, but just that child in us wants to just please our parent, isn't it? So there's that for me as well. I wonder if that resonates for anybody here.
Well, the first thing I thought about was is that our parents are our first God.
Yes.
And that is what we're after to please, because that's the first authority, that's the first voice, that's the first decision maker. Those are the first commandments we hear, And so we're always wanting to align ourselves with that until we get to another place in life. I truly believe this, get to another place in life where we realize that God was only using them as well. And so we no longer have to look at them in that light. Now our parents become our brothers and our sisters. And that we're all subject to that one God. Because they make mistakes, they messed up, Even and I remember, wow, Layla, you brought this up. I remember as an intern, and I saw a 3-year-old baby be brought into the hospital, battered and abused. It was horrible. And the first words out of that baby's mouth was, "Mommy, mommy." And mommy was the one who sent her to the hospital. And I thought, oh my God, an abused baby that was abused by the mama will still cry for mama. That was a life lesson, I'm telling you. I saw the bond, the connection. And then I also saw how important it is to be able to detach from that so that we can live fully and completely. Thank you, Layla, for bringing that up. Up and out, right? Because it has to come. Sonia, I know you do a lot of work with so many people out there in Las Vegas. By the way, folks, as a health and beauty consultant, I mean, this lady, and she's advertising it, so I can say it. She's 50 plus years old, like 54?
I'll be 53 on Sunday.
She'll be, well, happy soon to be birthday. Okay, so Sonia will be 53, and she's fit, and she's sharp, she's active, and so she has a big why for working out and doing all the things she does. So Sonia, I definitely want you to jump in at this time and share with us your take on your why.
Well, I was just thinking of you guys, so many good nuggets, because it resonated with me, because I just actually did a Facebook Live yesterday, and it has to do with this, our why. And I was thinking, because there was a memory that came across Facebook, you know how we have those. And I was like, oh my gosh, a couple of years ago, I'm not the same person I am now. But it all started with what we talk about it all the time, our choices. You know, my why was I personally wanted a change and didn't even realize the effect it was going to have on others by me deciding my why, that I wasn't going to stay where I was.
Yeah.
But it came to that moment of discuss with myself, like, this is not who you were created to be, right? So every day I'm reevaluating and evaluating who I am. And you guys have already hit it on the nail. Like, it resonated with me because it comes down to being a servant leader.
Mm-hmm.
And what we've been talking about, Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
the greatest servant leader. It's never about ourselves. And it's so easy to stay in that place of woe is me at times. Oh, well, I'm not going to do it. An excuse is just an excuse. But your why is really what drives you to the next level of who God has created us to be. Like, even as an entrepreneur, not to just stay at one level,
Right.
but to push yourself. And I know Regina does, you guys all work with people every day where you're really pushing yourself because it truly affects other people.
Yeah.
So those moments, I just, want to stay at the level I'm not. It's not good enough.
No.
God did not create us to remain stagnant
Mm-mm.
in one position, one level area of our lives. And each and every day, we talked about this in past times, declaring I am.
And
Moving in that purpose is your why. Dr. Faye, you just said it's the reason we are here.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times being an entrepreneur, you're here if your why doesn't make you cry. But sometimes literally I thought, well, why? That's just, something being said. But truly it is. My why changes as far as an entrepreneur. And my why, I have to reevaluate and say, what is it that I can do that's greater than me? That will push me a little bit further every day. And it's just a great thing. So yeah, I mean, I can say I want to quit doing this and that, but there is no stopping. Once you're in motion, you're going to keep in motion.
Yeah.
Your why propels you to the next level.
Yeah, you become unstoppable. Even you can't stop you. You can't stop you. And at 2 a.m. you're up. Other people are sleeping on what's wrong with me. I don't know. But I've got to get it done. And you focus to the finish. I say that every day, focus to the finish, focus to the finish. Because that's exactly what you said. Other people are waiting on your arrival. They're waiting for you. You may not know them by name, but they have been prepared for your words. They have been prepared for your presence and your coaching and mentoring, whatever it may be. They have been prepared for your song, for your book. They have been prepared for you. So it's up to you to deliver. I thought about what thank you so much, Sonia. I thought about what Layla said, something about, well, you mentioned age, but you were talking in relations to parenting. But I also thought about people losing hope. And maybe at one time they thought they knew their why, but life can throw you some riddles and you can get confused and it can seem complex, like, who am I? Why am I really here? Maybe you had a business, maybe you had a marriage, maybe you had whatever it was you had before all of the things that happened. And you are feeling at a loss right now as to how do you reboot? How do you really get back to your why? You're questioning even your own calling, your own destiny, your own purpose. And you really want to get a reboot and get restarted into that lane, whatever that lane or niche may be for you. I want to remind everyone today that you're never too old and it's not too late. You are here today because God has a plan for you. And your why is really his why for you. Just like he told Jeremiah, I know the plans that I have for you. I know the thoughts that I think toward you to give you a hope and a future. We don't just dream these things up. They're inside of us as children of God. And as we reach out to him, these things begin to manifest in our everyday waking, walking, talking life. You're not too young to begin. There are millionaires now being born out of the millennials. Yes, yes, and yes, because they're awakening to that why. And if you are X, Z, X, all the other alphabets, you're those alphabets that have now become so popular from the 40s and the 50s, the baby boomers, etc. It's not too late for you. And some of you are thinking, well, I can barely use my smartphone and get on Facebook. But still, that's a step. That's a step in the right direction. And let me tell you something, the same energy that it takes to get on Facebook, you can do something with Facebook. You can build a business from where you are. You can become that entrepreneur. Another word for entrepreneur that I coined is called co-creator, because you have it inside of you to create something, to be bigger than where you are. I love what Sonia said. You know, sit down, evaluate, assess yourself. The Bible calls it redeeming the times. Take an evaluation and assessment. Get a strategy session with one of these coaches, one of us coaches, one of we coaches. Get a strategy session and begin to do something that you haven't done. Rethink your life, because you have gifts and talents. Everyone that I know who is doing something to shift and to change the tides are people who have big whys, multiple whys of why they do things. I recall today David, the psalmist, the shepherd boy, when he went out to take lunch to his brothers because they had gone to war. They were the robust guys. They were the guys with the six pack. You know, he was the boy out there with the sheep. So nobody really looked at him as anything of value and important. He was the runner. So his dad got him to go run the lunch to his brothers and get a report. He comes up on the army, the entire army of Israel with the king sitting on the hill. And he looks at them, what's going on here today? Oh, there's a Philistine over there and he's intimidating us. All of you and one of him. What will the king give to the man who slays this giant? And the report was, well, okay, let's do an inventory. You're going to get his daughter. Okay, that's a good why, because she's a princess. So that means you move into the palace. Whoa, rent-free, tax-free. My life changes today. That's what David saw. He saw in his why a life that would change forever. And what does he do? He gathered 5 smooth stones and a sling. He saw the giant dead because his why was big enough to slay his giant. Your why has to be big enough to slay the mountains and the circumstances that will come facing you every day in business. And these ladies can tell you, obstacles do happen, do come. Circumstances do, they can almost shipwreck you at times. But you dig a little bit deeper and you get another stone and you put it in the sling and recall that the why is big enough, because it will change your life when you slay your giants. Yeah. And that's my message, and I'm sticking with it.
I love it. I love how finding our why is a responsibility, like Regina was saying. I love that word. And I know for so many people, it can really scare them. It can feel like, whoa, this is like a really, really big responsibility for me to honor this why and for me to commit to this why. But I do believe that we're all prepared, like through life experiences, we get prepared to take on that responsibility, so it doesn't just come out of the blue. But even with that, it takes a lot of courage to actually say, I accept that these are my whys. I accept the responsibility for showing up. I love what Sonia was sharing there as well about the evolution and the growth that a person goes through. And I just wanted to share something which just prompted as we were talking. So one of my favorite quotes is, you cannot discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. And these words guided me ever since I was a child. I'll read them again in a second. And a few years ago, one of my clients, she actually made a card for me of my favorite words. And it was just sat, obviously it's just sat on my table. And as Sonia was speaking, I just thought, oh my God, I need to share this. So it says that you cannot discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. It's beautiful. And you see what I mean? And why that's so powerful is because when when you know your why,
Mm-hmm.
and you realize that you are on a journey of growth, and as entrepreneurs, as women who work with us, others, helping them to improve their lives and their businesses and so on, we can't actually get stuck in a comfort zone. And so we have to step away from the shore, the comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
to discover what else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And when we can help our clients to do the same, then we're really creating a powerful ripple effect
Mm-hmm.
of an anchored why.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. An anchored
Powerful.
why.
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. Regina?
I did a Facebook Live yesterday about something that it's a practice that I've began. Basically, if I were to, like, I ask myself every morning, well, let me start from a different angle. If you got to the end of your day today, not at the end of your life, but if you got to the end of your day today and you had the chance to redo today, relive today, would you do it the same way you did it? Most of us, if not all of us, would say no.
Mm-hmm.
We would show up in a more powerful way. We would be afraid less. We would love more. We would be less judgmental. We would be all of those things. So what I've began to make sure that it lines up with my why and helps me, I guess, leave everything inside of a day that I'm supposed to leave inside of a day to the max is every morning when I get up after I pray, I tell myself, okay, this is your second chance right now to do today over. I imagine as if it's the second chance to do today over, as if the first time I did it, it wasn't enough, because there's always we can do more. There's always more we can do. And it has shifted my life in the most powerful way. I live every day, at least I do my best to live every day as if I'm reliving it, like a second chance to relive it.
Mm-hmm.
Because my fear, as you've heard me say so many times, is to get to the end of my life with regrets and things I didn't do.
Yeah.
I refuse to get to the end of the life wishing I could do it over again.
Mm-hmm.
And most people do.
Yeah.
Just do. So I think if we anchor, like for me, when I anchor in my why and I combine it with every morning saying, okay, this is your do-over for today.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? What I find myself is that at the end of the day, I am so exhausted and depleted in the most beautiful way, which I know I'm leaving everything. So when Layla asked me, how are you feeling? I said, well, I'm tired. Well, yes, I'm tired, but it's a good tired, right? I know I am living to the fullest, and I always feel like I can do more. It's just my personality. So knowing your why and allowing yourself to go through the day as if you got a second opportunity to relive it
Mm-hmm.
is such a powerful experience.
Mm-hmm.
I see myself giving even more, being even more of myself, paying less attention to anything that's outside of me, getting closer to God. And I literally am so exhausted each night, like there is nothing left of me, it's exhausting, but it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
Very beautiful feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So live your day as if you got a second chance to do it. And
Yeah.
if you're in your purpose, it's magic. And the magic, and you can see the reflection of that magic in other people around you, people that you're working with, people that you're impacting. They're the recipient of your original blueprint. God didn't give it to us for us, right? God gave it to us so others can benefit. At least in my life, with my blueprint, what I'm designed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing the impact and the effect on that of the people in my life, whether it's outside of work or clients or students in my containers. The impact on my new perspective is massive on their outcome and their numbers, which is it's a beautiful process. I encourage everybody to give it a try. It's a beautiful process, very empowering.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, ladies, the why. We're going to wrap it up here today, folks. But I want those of you who have been listening to this conversation to really begin to think about your why. You're in a good place in your life to reevaluate what you're doing and how you're carrying it out. And each of the co-hosts here today have added value. And brought some tools that you can take away, because our goal here on Lighten Up is to offer you something that you can use right now. Life is precious, and it's to be lived, and to be lived totally and completely, wholly and completely. And we want to be able to share some of our life experiences with you, each of these shows, however long they may be for each time. But we want to be able to make these deposits into your life, because we know how valuable your time is. How can we serve you best? What is it that you're looking for? And if you were your future self, what is it that you would want to have already done? So today is the day to begin to live from that place. Ladies, any final thoughts that you would like to share here today?
Just that, so with it's like my heart's message has always been that life is today. And my company's called Life is Today. And so this is what we're talking about, right? We're talking about living life right now. And I always say that life is today. It's right here. It's right now. The past doesn't exist anymore. Like 10 seconds ago is already gone. It's already in the past. 2 minutes in the future, we have no idea what we're going to be saying, we don't know what's going to be coming out of our mouths and what we're going to be saying and feeling. And so it's right here in this present moment that we get to create the future. We get to decide right here and right now in this moment, only this moment, and in the next moment, only in this moment. I want more love. I want more abundance. I want more appreciation. I want more gratitude. I want more, whatever it may be, whatever your heart's desire is, this present moment, today, now, here, is when you get to create your God-given vision. So encouraging everyone here, dream big, live fearlessly. It's today.
Yeah, beautiful.
Sonia, go ahead, please.
No,
I was just gonna. I was just. Look, go. I was just gonna say. I'll just add on to Layla, not much, but like what you're saying, the time is now. And when you guys were speaking, I was thinking about selfless. Live less for yourself and more for others, and that will propel you more into your why.
Short and sweet. Don't get to the end of your life wishing for a do-over. That's the best I can leave this at. Yeah,
that's good,
and that is extremely powerful. And I, for one, have stood by many beds where people were taking their last breath. And I've never heard anyone say, where's my money? Where's my house? Where's my car? No. The greatest thing that I've ever heard them say or even alluded to was peace. They wanted to be able to have peace. And the struggles that they had were of, did I do what God wanted me to do? They wanted to be able to close their eyes in peace, so that on the other side, and there is another side, whether you believe it or not, you'll find out later, that it is important that we live the life we were born again to live. Otherwise, our living would have been in vain, and that would be a tragedy. So today is a good day to take a pause in whatever it is that's been driving you, and allow the God that we speak of to minister to you, so that you can get out of the driver's seat for a while and let him take over. And you'll find out that if you let God do a takeover, you'll never regret another day in your life, because he knows exactly what he's doing with you if you're let him. Stephen Covey says, independent will is our capacity to act. It gives us the power to transcend our paradigms, to swim upstream. I love it. To rewrite our scripts, to act based on principles, rather than reacting based on emotion or circumstances. You have a will, and God has given you to will the big why. It's been our pleasure today as co-host of this show to bring you our thoughts from our heart and to share this time with you. And we would love hearing from you. You can direct message any of us or all of us in our Facebook group, Lighten Up, It's Time to Talk. Connect with us there, and we'll have conversations with you in our group. You can also contact us at the information below, Lighten Up at nctntv.org. So, on the behalf of Regina Gulbinas, Layla Khan, and Sonia Williams, I'm Dr. Faye, and we are Lighten Up. And we'll see you next time. God bless you now. Bye-bye.